Hi guys, welcome to the flight today, as we are down in Las Vegas and we're going to be doing a flight to Palm Springs and then direct to San Francisco with Southwest Airlines with the PMDG 737-800. We've got the Topcat performance. So hopefully have some lovely weather today, some nice scenes down on the ground as we get ready to depart out. All we've got to do is get the Navigraph charts up and then we can get ready to leave and start the aircraft up ready for departure. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys, leave your comments down below, and now we get inside the cockpit and start the aircraft up ready to leave lovely Las Vegas. So here we are now in the 737-800 cockpit. What I'm going to do is, just before we leave and start the aircraft up, I'm going to go and get the Navigraph charts and everything, so we can get the aircraft's charts all ready to leave. So we're going to be leaving from Las Vegas, and we're coming in from Palm Springs. Create that up. We'll get the charts and everything for the departure. So for the taxi on the SID leaving out, we're going to be using today the Radl 2. So let's go and find the Radl 2. Let's just lift up a little bit. There we go. So there's a Radl 2 RNAV departure, which we can go and check out quick. So we're going to be leaving out runway 26 right. Once we leave out, we're going to go from Radl, and then we're going to transition to Lavelle, which will be right there for us. Then coming in for the approach, we've got runway 31 left for Palm Springs, and the star we're taking is the Sabono 1, which is right here. And Sabono 1, basically, let's go and get the approach in for 31 as well. Got the RNAVs, we'll have a look at the RNAV Zulu. RNAV Zulu, going to come in initial approach because it is a thermal, so we'll take the Zulu right there, down to 3.5 degree glide path coming down. Take the RMP instead of the GPS, we'll get that off, there we go. Okay, so we're going to come in for Palm Springs, which will be our initial approach fix. Okay, then we've got Sabono as we ride in. There's thermal, there's Palm Springs right there. Okay, so that is pretty much going to be us, all good. We're coming in from a cloud, and then we'll ride it through. So we'll go in and get the aircraft all set up now, as that is us all done. So we'll go overhead, get the battery on and guarded, standby power is guarded, and ground power is now on. On the emergency exit lights, get the chimes on, fasten seat belts which are checked, window heats which can all go on, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Test of flap sends which are clear. First IRS, second IRS to nav. Test flight recorder which is clear and on. The voice recorder can go on. Packs can go to auto, which is checked. Going for a flight level of 250, it's only 30-minute flight. Any collision we'll just leave on now for the time being. Panel lights can all come on, which are checked. Bats are on bat and ground power, which is clear. Let's wait for that to happen now. We'll just light up our panels. Just gonna put the panel lighting on. Get the panel lighting down here. Switch to TA, which is checked. Go into the FMC. Into the IRS now, so Kima Lima Alpha Sierra, over to the left GPS, which is in, go to our route, Kilo Papa Sierra Papa for Palm Springs. We're going to be departing out of runway 26 right, leaving out on the Radl 2 Romeo, transitioning for Lavelle, which is checked. Going on to our routes in then from Lavelle, we're going to Cloud. Then from Cloud, on the arrival, we're going to be taking the Sabono 1. Then we transition off. Let's just get that. So let's get the charts up and have a look. Okay, on for the Sabono 1. Got read GFS, which is going to come from Bravo Lima Hotel. there's cloud right there. So from cloud, there isn't really going to be no transition. There's Sabono. As we come right down, probably could use the Joffs, or we could use needles. We're going to put no transition in. There's Sabono, and we've got Palm Springs coming in for the RNAV. The RNAV departure and the RNAV arrival that we're coming in for is going to be on here. We've got the RMP Yankee. That's going to bring us in for the transition at Palm Springs. So we've got 3-1 left. Yankee, Palm Springs, which is set. Activate that up. Go to our perf, request that through. Hey Dan, good morning my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Thought we'd do a flight in the USA today and see how that goes. Get some nice views of the scenery as we leave out today from Las Vegas. So we'll upload that 240, which can stay, which is fine. The cost index leaving out is going to be 11. Okay, we'll go get the ISA and winds. Top of climb at 31837. Okay, and that's going to give us our minus 23. Okay, transition 180. On for the flex temp, we've got a D-rate normal takeoff, and we've got a flex of 41. Okay, 94.5. As we come through, we get the runway winds, which is 210 at 4. We've got up 1 on the runway slope. Coming in for a flaps 1, which is the first time we've done that. We've got a long runway, so we can do that. Center of gravity is 5.5, which is checked. So that's all set now. Get the one pump in, get the APU, which is going to be all ready and set to go. IRSs are ready, so yaw damper. Electrics can come on. Get all of our pumps in as well. Shouldn't have nothing in the center. APU bleed can come. Get the bleeds off. Get the elevation down. Which is 430. Okay, we'll leave that at 450, which is fine. EGT is now increasing for the APU, so we're going to get everything all set. So flight directors are on. Leaving out 259, which is going to be tracked outbound. Let's check our taxi. Okay, 26 right there, which is the 259. (259), 240. Okay, which is checked. 24, switch over the APU, 1 and 2, go up to the APU gen, which is checked, leaving out for 4,000 feet. Flight directors are all on. V2, which is going to be 151 plus 20, will be 171. Okay, which is also checked. Auto throttle, auto brakes RTO. And that is us ready and set to leave. Off the QNH side, we are looking at 3010. Okay, which is checked. That is us now ready to go. So we're going to go into the FMC, ground services. We can get rid of the jetway now, which should go. Can release the ground power. Okay, jetway should disappear now. There we go. And that's us already and set to leave out. Ground power's disconnecting, and then we'll be all ready to leave. So, very quick setup as we leave. And travel on the USA today. But yeah, it should be a nice flight. I haven't done the USA in a long time, so it'd be nice to see some nice views as we're always stuck in Europe, so it'd be nice to do that today. So we'll go in and get the pushback, standard L. We're going to the left. You can call the tug, make sure the brakes are on, because they're always off for some reason. Now, that's all ready. We are ready to go. So, packs can go off.
Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our right. Copy that. Ready to push. Tail to the right. Parking brakes release, please.
Yeah, release parking brake.
Brakes released. Here we go.
Okay, so as we push back now, go for engine number 2 to ground. Start valves open. N2's increasing, going for a flaps 1 today. So Topa has got a flaps 1, has got a nice long runway for 2.6. 25% will inject fuel, CEGT start to increase. Yeah, there's 24, 25, fuel's in. As EGT now starts to rise, LNAV and VNAV can go in as it is an RNAV departure. No, so I think he's turned us the wrong way. I'm not going to stop him. We'll turn around, get that fine as EGT now starts to rise up for engine number 2. 56%, start to cut out, we'll come back. We'll just do a little U-turn once we get in. So there's the cutout. Switch in for number 1. As EGT stabilizes now on number 2. %will inject fuel.
Pushback complete. Parking brake, please. Brake set. Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
See you soon, bye. So, as we now get ready, tug's released, brakes are on, N2 with the EGTs now increasing. So we just wait for engine number 1 and then we can blast off today. See what views we've got as we leave out on the departure. Straight left hand turn off of 26 right. 56% starter cutout should be back, which they are, so 1 and 2 can go over on the gen, go to gen 1, get the packs to auto, isolation valve to auto. APU bleed can go off, which is checked. APU can be turned off. Engine start switches are continuous. Tell the cabin that we are getting ready now to go. We go for flaps 1. Center of gravity 5.15. Okay, which will leave just about there. Just checked. Okay, wait for the green light for flaps 1. Okay, green light's on. Everything else is okay for us to go. So, as we are now ready to leave, get the runway turn off lights on. Taxis, ding the cabin, let them know that we are ready to leave. We just need to do a U-turn as pushback put us on the wrong side. And we are now ready to go. So, brakes released, and we'll power on up. As we come out onto the main taxiway, we get the taxi charts up. So we're going to come out onto Bravo. All the way down to the end, and then we'll line up for runway 26 right. Weather seems to be quite clear today for the takeoff. Also setting the sensitivity for the yoke or the joystick, so that's running a lot more less sensitive, so we should be able to get a little bit more input today. As we're going to go all the way down to the end for 26 right. So we'll take a look at the taxis. Okay, so once you come down, we can go all the way down to the end. So we'll line up on Bravo, the last hold. First flaps 1 takeoff, got 151 for V2, and coming out for rotate is 146. D rate 41, which is going to give us around 95%. So I hope you guys are having a good day, enjoying your weekend, as we're ready to go to Palm Springs. When we're up in the air, we'll go over the approach, make sure that we've got everything all set in, and make sure that the approach for the fixes is all on point. So hopefully it shouldn't be as sensitive as it was yesterday with the controls, as the controls are very sensitive since the last update. Don't know why, but I've managed to turn down the sensitivity, so the aircraft should respond a lot more sluggish. So here we are coming down to the end via the Bravo hold. So, cabin crew, take your seats for departure. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the strobes on and everything just as we go into this turn, so we can just ride straight in. So strobes are straight in, tell the cabin we're ready to go. LNAV and VNAV is engaged, it's RNAV departure, so run LNAV and VNAV straight out. Okay, so here we are now. Ready, lined up for 26 right. So landing lights are all on, auto brakes RTO, flaps 1 green light, we've got LNAV and VNAV which is engaged, and we are now cleared for takeoff. So push forward on the column, power up to 45%. Stabilized, and toga. Airspeed live. Check, throw hold. 100 neutral on the column.
V1,
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. So 171's V2 plus 20. Let's power on down. Okay, there's climb power coming in. Auto brake can be turned off. Gear can be turned off. Let's power up now for flaps 1. Quickly, just have a quick look as we blast out of lovely Las Vegas. Okay, flaps 1, which is checked. Okay, into that right hand turn, speed check, flaps up. Okay, there's 230, which we're going to hold. Into that right hand turn. Hold for 250. Trim the aircraft out. Okay, FMC speed. 250, get the autopilot in, CMDA, which is in and checked. VNAV can go back in. And there we are, all ready and set to leave on the departure. Aviation guy, good morning my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Welcome to the channel. And I hope you're having a great weekend, pal. As we are getting ready to go on our way to lovely Las Vegas. So, on return of flights can be turned off, taxis can be turned off now as we're holding 8,000 feet. Checking on the FMC now, 13,000 above, so we get to a radar 285 on the speed. Deck, good morning my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Nice to see you here this morning. As we're down in the USA, ready to go to Palm Springs. And then from Palm Springs, we're then going to go straight direct to lovely San Francisco. So 2 nice, lovely airports for us today to explore. And we'll get some lovely views of the scenery that is down in the USA, as there is some lovely scenery down in the USA. As we haven't been in the USA for quite a little bit, I thought it would be nice for us to go here and have a little look and see what the USA is actually saying for us, as it has been quite a while since I've done any USA flights. So what better way to do a nice one with lovely Southwest Airlines. So as we're on our climb out now, passing 10,000 feet, landing lights can be turned off, engine start switches which are set, release the cabin now so they can go and do what they need to do. Passing through 10,006, lovely views on our way out. As we're going to go for flight level 240, so it's a very short route for the first flight, then we're going to go straight on to San Francisco. So there's our top of descent, there's our top of climb. I'm going to have a look at the arrival quickly, as we probably could have put the transition for cloud in, but because we're coming in on 3-1 left, I think it's going to be a little bit different. So we'll see what madness has happened here on the FMC. Hey, there's clouds as well, as we need to come in for Palm Springs. Okay, so Bonnie can go there, which is checked. Get rid of the vector. So let's just take that out. There we go. Let's go on to delete the vector. Delete that off. We go to PSB. And if we get out on the Navigraph charts, I've got them all set up on my numpad buttons, mate. So I can just flick through to what I need to, you know. So Sabonu to Reoc. Okay, so Sabonu to Reoc. Could have actually used Reoc. Reoc's there. Cloud. Let's do cloud. There we go. So that'll just fix everything up. I can have a look and see what damage has been done. Okay, so we come down to Zella, Cloud, Sabonu, then we want to go Cloud to Mema, and then to Revoc. Okay, so let's just go back, get that all set in, so I can push that forwards. There's Cloud, is right here. We'll get Cloud there. Cloud should go to Sabonu, and Sabonu is going to go through. Okay. So Cloud, Sabonu, and then Memo. Okay. And that'll pretty much do us from there, I should imagine. And then we'll come straight in for the approach to Revoc from Sabonu, Meme. So we go on to that left hand turn now, which is going to track us through to the 166. Okay, which is check. So after takeoff check, there's gears up, no lights, flaps are up, no lights, got the auto brake which is off, packs are auto, bleeds are on, and cabin has been released. So there are some lovely views. This is a quick flight, only 30-minute flight, this one straight into Palm Springs, and then from Palm Springs we are then going to ride down to San Francisco, which should be very nice indeed for us today. As you can see, we're straight to Sabonu and then to Reoc we want to be going to. So let's just change that through. Cloud to Shirok. Get rid of Mio. Okay, and then that's checked. And that's us all done there. Passing through 18,000 feet now. QNH isn't go to standard 1003, 290902. Which are all checked. We're only going up to 240. You have to set them up manually, pal. You have to go into the settings and do that, but you can just then set them up accordingly to how you need to do it. So I've set mine to control, and then you just press the numcad 1, 2, through to 9, you know. So, but if you want to know that, just if you can't do it or anything, there are tutorials as well. You can just reset them on the settings. You've got to go into the control settings and change the keys to then set them up so you can do them to control, and then press 1 and then that'll be 1 view, control 2, control 3, etc. So if you can't do it, there are tutorials out there on YouTube that can help you. Let's get the traffic on, let's get the terrain on as well. So yeah, you can go to TRA. I've got the head-up display, but I'm not sure how you use it, because I don't know how you drop it down. So I haven't quite figured that one out. I did have a look quickly just before we come down, but couldn't really see what was actually going on there. So we can have a little look out the window, have a look at some of the views of the USA as we're now en route to lovely Palm Springs. There's 240 which is coming in. I'm going to put the forecast in so we can get that all ready and set for the arrival. So we got Palm Springs meter. Yeah, we got the conversion as well. Okay, millibars to inches, 3010. Now looking at 1019. which is checked. Trans is 18,000. Let's go and get all of our winds for the descent. So we can put in 150, 100, and 5,000. So we've got 298 at 33. Then for 10,305 at 29. And then on the arrival for the METARs coming into Palm Springs. And we've got 310 at 3. Okay, which is in top of descent, we'll recalculate. And that's that all set as well. So weather's not too bad out here as we now fly through right over the land. So the forecast is in. The aircraft will recalculate its top of descent point. We're only at 240 anyway, so it's going to be a quick flight straight in. As you can see, there's our top of descent right there, as it's literally up and down. And then we ride in for 3-1 at the left. So let's get the arrival charts for the RMP. So we've got the RNAV approach, the RNAV Yankee for 3-1 left as we come through from Rioch, then from Rioch to Tuvek. So for the RMP, we need the RMP to be 0.30. Okay, which I'm going to change, make sure 0.30, which will check in, which is checked. As required navigational performance, it needs to be 0.3, so 3/10 of a nautical mile from the airport's current position when we fly this approach down. So the RMP is 0.30, 374 with plus 50 for the RNAV, so that will give us 384 for a 354 decision. So we'll get 384 on the minimums. 784. Okay, 786. Okay, and for the approach, our top of descent where we hit the approach is 2009. Okay. We'll drop that, so when we pass our top of descent point, the aircraft will start its descent automatic. We've already put the forecast in, so it's recalculated its top of descent point to compensate with winds, etc. Okay, and that's us all done. Our initial approach fixed Savonu, then Weimar, then Rioch. So we did have Weimar, but we're going to go straight through to Rioch. 210 at 5003, and then you can see we've got the 3-degree 3.4 on the glide path, which we can just match up and have a look at. So we can see here we have got 3.10, 3.04. We're going to start the descent at 7.3 nautical miles, which is right there. The glide path's there, so we'll let the aircraft do what it's got to do. Selma now is coming onto the 189. There's a 189. As we are now just in reach for our top of descent. So very quick, 240 all the way down. There's our top of descent. Vertical deviations now in on the navigational display as we now start that top of descent point. So engine start switch continuous. The engine anti-ice, which would have been on under 10 degrees. No thunderstorms, but we'll put it on anyway. It's going to knock us back. We're going to increase idle by about 3% N1 when the anti-ice is on. As we now descend down, we've got 3010 for the QNH down in Palm Springs. And winds are calm, 310 at 3. Temperature's 12, 10 statute miles, it's clear. So it seems to be alright down there, not too bad. on the weather front, and then we're going to come straight through. So I shouldn't have deleted Weimar, because Weimar is there on the arrival as well, but when we come on the approach, we're pretty much going to come straight down from Sobonu and then all the way to Riyadh for 5003, so it's going to be a continuous straight line anyway as we come through. 9001 then to 5003, got terrain 2003, 4, 5, 5, so we're clear as we come down anyway, so that's fine. Can get the Palm Springs in, which is the 111.5. Which is in, and then sent through flight level 210. So we go for auto brake number 2. See if we can arm the speed brakes. We're having a bit of trouble last night with them. There we go, green light, which is in. Set up the courses and everything, and then we'll be all good to come in for 3-1 left. It's a shame they don't have like an EFB on the side that we can use, so we have to keep pulling up Navigraph all the time. So the 309, and 309, RMP Yankee, this is for 3-1. And we'll follow to Riyadh 53, max 210, which you can just check. 210 for 5000 to 5003. Then we come down at 4000 above. Initial fix is just up. It's going to be for 2009, which is in. Then there's a 7.3 DME mark where we hit the final approach point for GISOP, and then come down to 3.1 degree. So that's okay. We've got the RMP down here, which is 0.30, which we put in 0.30, 734 plus 50, which is 784 on the MDA. And then once we get down into Palm Springs, we'll then reload the aircraft and get ready to go into San Francisco, which should be a really nice flight today. Okay, so speeds 251, then 240 for cloud. It's just land all about the place. Once we come in for San Francisco, we use the flight recorder replay system for San Francisco, which will be the last flight. And we're back this evening. Don't know where we'll go this evening. But for now we're in the USA, and then we'll get lovely San Francisco in for our second and last leg of the flight. Okay, so I'm going to get the runway tunnel flights and taxis on, just then we are prepared. Drags required as we now slow down onto the 200. Okay, 200, which is in. QNH is 3010. Okay, which are in and checked. Need to get the aircraft fully configured by the final approach point. Okay, speed brakes are open. There's 251. Passing through 16,006. So on the approach for the RMP Yankee, we've got the auto brake set for number 2. We'll go in and quickly, whilst the speed's there, go and set up our landing speeds. So 45 to 47, which is 0.2, so 63, 0.2, 146, plus 5. Which should be fine, which would be 151. Anti-ice over 10 degrees now can be turned off. One thing I do want to do is I want to get up the arrival for the taxi off Palm Springs. Okay, so from 3-1 left, we'll come off at Kilo, then back to actually onto stand. Actually we'll come off, actually not Kilo, we'll come off at Juliet, sorry. And then we'll come in and get ready for the approach. So the approach is all in 309. Palm Springs is in for the 11150. So it's just going to be on DME. Let's pass through 14,007 now. So it's that little right to left hand bank. That's going to bring us on to 254, then back to the 186. So the aircraft's fully ready to go. Get landing lights, we're going under 10,000 feet, we'll get them ready so they're all ready and secure. Then we'll make a right hand turn, just slight right to 254 and then back to 186, which will track to 1021021 to 186 5003. As we get near to Reoc, I'm going to start slowing the aircraft down. It's going to go 210 for Reoc, and then all the way up. There's our 151, which is going to be the VREV 30 plus 5, which is our 151 for our speed. As the winds are under 10 knots, plus 5, anything over, if it was a headwind, then you divide it by 2. So if it was a headwind on 14 knots, you divide that by 2, which would be 7. Some lovely views in the USA to be discovered as well. We'll come over San Francisco, there will be some amazing views there, definitely for sure. Okay, so cabin crew for arrival. Past 11,006 now. Getting a little bit bumpy as we come down. Just a bit of light air. So I've changed the sensitivity on the controls as well, so the sensitivity is a lot more sluggish. As last night coming in, especially with winds, it was just it was ridiculous how sensitive the controls were. I don't know if it's from the actual update that it's had, but the control column was just a lot more sensitive than what it should be. Passing through 10,007. Okay, 17 knots over to the left. That 254 coming in. Recall, which is clear. Okay, then we go back to the 184. Yeah, which is in and checked. Open up speed brakes now. That's going to bring us all the way down. Passing through 9,000 feet. Okay. Spawning 7004. Looks a little bit low. That's 240 in. Let me ride that 254 to the 186. That is 7004 now from 210 for RealWorld. That speed tape will start making its way down. Your brakes are armed. Let's now start that lovely descent down into Palm Springs. So 5,000 above to 5,003. Then we descend right the way around. Go down to 210. Okay, there's a decel point. Speed tape is going to start to move down. That'll be our flaps up speed. Speed tape is going to move down with us. As you see, it's coming down slowly. That's 210. Then we'll track into the 252. Average is checked. Speed tape is going to move down to 210 with us, which is our flaps up speed. Now as we make this right hand turn, then we're going to start dropping into the flap settings. That's once we go from RealWorld. Let's go from Rio, it's 8 nautical miles. Then from Tuvok, it's about another 10, so about 20 nautical miles out. Okay, and there's our next decel point, 210. This is a 252. Aircraft's going to start to descend. It's going to leave us there for 4,000 above. USA does have some nice lovely views, that is definitely for sure. Okay, by the time we get to Jessup we need to be fully established and fully configured for the approach. There's our decel point that we're going to come in for onto the RMP. So I'm going to drop into a flaps 5. Which are checked. Under 210 and go to flaps 10. Still going to hold at 4,000 feet. 2009, which is in. And from 2009 is where we drop down, so we'll drop that down to near our minimums, so the aircraft can follow down on the descent profile from GSOP, and then we'll disconnect just around near to our minimums, and that'll be us all ready to go. As we slow down now. 2009. Okay, flaps 10. Okay, airport's in sight now. (2009), which is in. We'll remove that down to our minimums. Put that down to around 700. What we've got down, we've got 786. So I'll just move that to 6. We'll get the minimum call out anyway. The aircraft we've got in sight. So flaps 15, gear down. As we need to have all of our flaps down by the time we hit GSOP, which is the final approach point for the RNAV approach. Okay, there we go, flaps 30. Okay, there's the approach now setting for the 3.1 degree descent. That will hold us down onto a 155 or 154 coming in on the approach. That's us all the way down. So for the landing checklist, we've got gear down 3 green, we've got flaps set in 30, which is green light, order brake set for number 2, which is checked, engine starts, which is continuous, cabin has been notified, packs are auto, bleeds are on, and we are configured for the approach for 3-1. We're going to hit for number 3. That'll just give us an extra little bit of leeway because the thrust reversers take just that little bit more just to come through. So we're into 2001, we do have a diameter reference point, we'll just check that out quick. Right. So it's literally follow it down to minimums. So we get the control column ready when we disconnect. Passing through 1007 now. Got a descent rate of around 850 to 900 feet per minute. Get some lovely views of the houses as we come in. At 1000, I'm going to disconnect, fly manually. Autopilot and auto throttle is disconnected now, and I have full control of the aircraft. Okay, following on 800 feet. Okay, speed brakes are up. Oof. And reversers are active. Full pressure on the column. Okay, which checked. Reversers can be stowed, run off to the end, and then take that left-hand turn to come off onto the taxiway. Still need to sort out the rudders, as they are still a little bit sensitive, especially on touchdown. Apart from that, wasn't a bad one. Let's see what San Francisco holds for us. So, speed brakes can be retracted, flaps can be fully set back. I don't know, get ready for the turn off. Back on to stand. Okay, so if we just ride over now, the landing lights which can go off, engine start switches, strobes which can be set. Take this left hand turn now. Taxi on up to stand, and then we will get the aircraft fully configured to then run to San Francisco. So it was a nice arrival, nice approach. The RNAV approaches are nice, I do like RNAV approaches, not bad approaches indeed. As we taxi on down, we'll get down to the gate, and then we'll reload, ready for our departure. I need to get the Topcat performance for the next flight. That shouldn't be okay, so we are leaving out for 3-1, coming in for 2-8 right for San Francisco. Gross weight is going to be our takeoff weight 66.7, so a little bit more heavier than we are here. It was around 60 tons. We're coming around for 66 tons, probably 60. We're going to take 7 tons on fuel. We'll take an extra 1 for reserve. As we're going to go up to the stand. Right. So let's have a look into what we've got. I'm going to park up just on the right here. That should be okay for us. Okay, we get the APU on now. So I was just getting used to the flare, because obviously I've changed the sensitivity down on the aircraft, so for the flare etc it's going to be just a little bit more difficult. It's going to be a lot more sluggish than it was yesterday, so just got to sort of compensate and get used to the more input. With the Zebo mod you get to mess around on the joystick a lot more than you do with the PMDG, so that's why I've turned the sensitivity down, so should be okay. So terrain can go off, flight directors can both go off now as they're cleared. Then go back down to 100 to 0. Leave everything else as we're going to be doing our next flight. Then we'll arrive up to stand and then get the aircraft ready to come back round. Yeah, APU is ready to switch over, 1 and 2, APU jump. stop her. Get the brakes on. APU's over. Engine's going to be switched down. GT's decreasing. The engines are now fully shut down. EPU bleed can be run off as we're going to now get the ground power on. So let's go in and get all of our ground services. So on the GPU cart, set wheel trucks, ground power can request. Okay, once the engine's shut down fully, everything else will be available. Okay, ground power is now on, so we're going to switch that over, get the APU off as well. That is us all ready for the turnaround. Oh, the jetway's inhibited still. Everything else is all there. The jetway's usually on the relay unless the stairs have come down, which they haven't. So turn it to jetway, get the jetway request, see if that comes over, which it does. Open up the door. Hopefully the door comes up on its own. Don't know why, sometimes it gets a little bit scratchy outside. Oh, there's the jetway coming in. That's us all there, ready to go. So, in just a few moments' time, I'll go get the Topcat performance, and then we'll get the aircraft fully set up, ready to come back to lovely San Francisco for that lovely approach in. Chris, good afternoon my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Hope you're having a great weekend. Just getting the total performance for the aircraft, so then we can get ourselves all configured ready to leave out for San Francisco. So I've got all of the performance and everything that we need for this departure. So all I need to do really is just load the aircraft up and then we're ready to go pretty much. So I'm going to do that now. Just quickly get the weights that we need. We're coming out for 66.7 tons. Let's get our fuel in which we're going to take 8. We're taking 8 tons on the fuel. Payload, there's 66.7, literally bang on the dot, so we can leave the passengers that we've got there as well. So we'll go in and get our route in and everything. So Kilo Papa, Sierra Papa for Palm Springs. For Palm Springs, we're then coming in for San Francisco, which is Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar. Need to just get the departure routes and everything for the aircraft. Once we set that up now, so it can be a new flight. Okay, so Kilo Papa Sierra Papa. Palm Springs. Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar. Okay, which is in. And we'll generate that up. Get all our charts in. So taxi in for the SID coming out of Palm Springs. We're going to be using the Palm Springs straight off. So we can see what the cathedral is going to say for us. They're going to come out to the left anyway, so we can use the Cathedral 1 transition for Palmdale. Okay. So we're taking 3-1 left, Cathedral 1. Okay. And then the Cathedral 1 up to PSP, which is fine. PSP, Emerald PSP. Okay, so we'll sort that out. We're all done. Just want to go up to PSP actually, so probably don't even need that. So delete that up. Okay. Delete PSP. There we go. Okay. So from there to PSP, got the Victor 386, which is going to take us to Papa Mike Delta. Then from Palmdale, we then got direct to Alpha Victor Echo. From there, we got direct to Marks, or Makers. Makers direct to Surfer. That's going to be the start of the arrival. So let's have a look at the arrival. We've got the Surfer 4 coming in for 28 right. Okay, for the approach, come on the star. And there's a Surfer 4 for the RNAV. Coming in straight from Surfer, we hit Makers, and then there's Surfer, which will bring us right through. Makers is going to be right there to 6,000 feet once we hit Frolic. That's going to be for Eddie. And the approach is 28 right. So we've got 28 right. Do a nice ILS approach in for 28 right. As we come in, let's just move this out a little bit. There we go. And there's Eddie for our initial approach fix as well. So we're going to come in. We've got the Surfer 4, ILS 2 right. Eddie's the initial fix for the transition. Activate that up. Go over to our perf. Request that through. Wait for that to come in. Okay, load up. Okay, so we're going for a flight level of, saying you're on the cruise 180, but we ain't going to need that, it's going to be an hour and 13, so we'll go for 300. To be checked. Cost index will be 36. Cruise winds 230.56 and minus 40. Transitions 180. On for the flex temp, we're taking a flex temp of 56. A normal takeoff D rate in climb 1. Coming down onto the runway winds 340 at 3. Okay, runway slope is up 0.8. Okay. Centre of gravity 21.9. We're going in for flaps 1. That pushes 145, 149 and 152 for B2. B2 plus 20, which is going to be 172. Okay, which is checked. Take her up to 300. Get the airport's elevation in that setting. Okay, 300. 300. Elevation down in San Francisco. All the ILS, which is going to be 13, so we'll leave that 0 as well. APU can now get started up as we are going to get ready to go. Any collision lights, etc. are all on as well. So that's good for us. 152, but leave it out on the runway heading, which is going to be 310. 309. 310, which will be in and checked. Auto brakes, which can be turned off. Auto throttle, which is also on. TA, which can go down. I have to wait for the APU now. One pumps in, get all our fuel, leave that on. So everything's all ready now to leave. APU gen's on, ready to go. We've got the ground power. EGC is now increasing for the APU.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We've been cleared for push and start, tail to the right.
Copy that, ready to push. Tail to the right.
Okay, tail to the right.
Brakes release, please.
Okay, parking brake, which is released.
Brakes released.
Brakes released, here we go.
Okay, so we go for ground, so which for engine number 2. Start valves open. Into slowly increasing. 25% will inject fuel, and we'll see EGT start to increase. "23, 24, and 25. Engine number 2 in. Damage is checked. EGT is now rising up for engine number 2. Overhead, which is in. Okay, which is checked. Start to cut out back after 56%. Engine number 1 now can come through. "3010, which is checked and cross-checked. Auto brake can be RTO. 25% for engine number 1, and then inject fuel. See the EGT start to increase again.
Pushback complete. Parking brake set.
Okay, fueled in for engine number 1. Parking brake, which is set. EGT now starting to increase for engine number 1.
Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release from guidance on your right. Have a good flight.
See you soon, bye-bye. So, LNAVs it in. Follow ahead and select 400 feet, LNAV become engaged. As you can see, LNAV's pre-armed, head and select will come out 310. LNAV will engage itself after 400 feet, and once it gets to flaps out retraction, then we can inject the VNAV, and that'll be us all set and ready to go. So, 56%, start to cut out back. EGT is now starting to stabilise, so we'll switch over to Gens 1 and 2, go over to Gen 1, probe heats can both go on, which I've checked. Packs to auto, isolation valve to auto, bleeds, APU bleed which can go off, APU is off, engine start switch is continuous, tell the cabin that we are ready to go, and we get our taxi lights all on set ready to leave, as we're going to go right now anyway. So all we need to do is get the trim in, which is 521. Okay, so we're set about there, and we are now ready to go. So we'll taxi off, brakes released, and we'll power on up to the runway. Okay, so don't know what happens to the charts, we'll get them back on the way out. So once we come out the airport, they're going to make a right hand turn, which will then lead us through. We're going to go right to the end, got flaps 1, which can go in. Checked. Take this left hand turn, then onto a right hand turn. So straight to San Francisco we go. All the way to the end of Alpha, then spin around onto 31 left, and then we blast out flaps 1 for the total performance. We've got a D rate of 56, which should give us around 90, I think it's 94 or 95% N1. Got our V speeds in, which is V1s for 145, got 152 for V2 plus 20, which will give us 172 for the climate. at 3-1 left. Show the aircraft down as we enter the active. So strobes can go on, which are checked. Tell the cabin to get ready to go. As we're now going to line up onto 3-1 left. Okay, so we're ready to leave now. Before takeoff checklist, auto brakes RTO, flaps 1 green line, packs auto, bleeds are on, engine start switch to continuous, and we are ready to leave. So landing lights are all on and checked. So push forward on the column, power on up to 50%. Okay, stabilized and towed up. Speed line.
80 knots.
Check. Throw hold. 100 neutral on the column.
P1. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gear up. Okay, just moving out onto that left hand side. Come down. As we go for V2 plus 20. Climb speed's going to come in as well. And move on to that right hand turn. So as we go off the takeoff, gear can be up and off. Auto brake reset, we'll trim the aircraft to hold. Okay. So as we're going to speed up now to our flaps up, go up to 220. Drop the nose. And leave us in for our climb. And onto our right hand turn we go. Lovely views. Okay, speed check, flaps 1. Straight in as we go to Yucca. Speed check, flaps up, VNAV can be engaged. As we follow on through. So CMDA can go in, which is checked. The aircraft now climbs up for 220 up to 2501 hour speed. Now tracking in the 35A, 25 degrees of bank. Okay, which is also checked. As we then get ready then onto that left hand turn, so the aircraft's going to climb out now. As we need on the climb out, 10,003 by the time we get to Yucca. Then make another left hand turn onto the 331. as we ride through the mountains now, up to our climb, so we'll go to Mach decimal 80 on for the cruise, back down to Mach decimal 74 for the descent. And then we'll get the forecast winds and everything all set in for San Francisco. Down in San Francisco, if we check on the meters for San Francisco, it's actually got for us. Winds down in San Francisco 1603, 3 statute miles, broken at 200, broken at 400, and we've got the temperature which is 13. QNH 3019, so might be a little bit, visibility might be down just a little bit, visibility is 2 miles, 3 statute miles. So, we'll see what San Francisco has got to offer for us. It's very sunny right now, so I should imagine there's going to be some cloud layers when we come into San Francisco. All in all, it should be a really nice arrival, coming in on the ILS approach, so that'll be nice to see. Now we'll get some lovely views in as well. We've got the flight recorder replay system, so we'll definitely catch some outside views from outside as the aircraft now climbs up. That just passed through 15,000 feet. A little bit of wing flex on the departure. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, as we are here in the USA doing some USA flights today. If you do want to see any sort of requested flights that are RealWorld that do operate in the 737-800 or the Phoenix, do leave your comments down in the comment section of this video, and I'll be sure to take a look. As all of these flights here today from Palm Springs, from Las Vegas to Palm Springs, and from Palm Springs to San Francisco, these are done with Southwest, but they're in the 700, but I wanted to take out the 800, so we've got the 800, the Heart 2 livery, as we depart out. So USA does have some lovely scenery and some lovely views for the simulator, which shouldn't be ignored, as they are very nice views. Just haven't really been there that much to actually see it all, but there are some lovely scenery down here, so it's something to not be ignored. Definitely get down into the USA and do some flights. Have some lovely approaches too, as the approaches, like with the stars, they're a lot more different than in the Europe. Then we go on to that left hand turn now. Okay, as we now track inbound onto the 331 to the 265. Okay, she's checked. QNH passing 18,000, back to standard 1013, 299.2. 31 knot wind hitting us from the front, just leaning over to the left. TA, which is going to go over to TARA, and we get the terrain back on as well. So it's a little bit muggy down in San Francisco. Cloud layers are broken around 200 feet and 400, so we'll definitely be in for a run today when we come down. Got the ILS approach anyway, so the runway will probably come in just as we go seep underneath the cloud layers. But apart from that, it should be a really nice flight. So enjoy some of the views, guys, as we now ride to San Francisco. Flight time to San Francisco, which isn't going to be very long at all. Flight time to San Francisco is currently standing around 1 hour and 17, so around an hour's time. We can check in on the FMC as well for the progress. 2006, so just around 54 minutes we'll be down in lovely San Francisco. If you do enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, it really means a lot. I do enjoy doing these flights for you guys. I enjoy doing them myself, and I do appreciate all the support that you guys show. San Francisco, I don't think we've flown it actually on the channel as of yet, So that'll be something else to see as we come in today, see what the scenery's saying. I think I've done an approach into San Francisco. It's quite nice, it's not bad. It's got some nice views on the approach as we come over the water, go over the bridge. So enjoy the views as we ride up to flight level 300, currently at 22.2. So anti-ice can now come on, 110 degrees, which is checked. As we capture some of them views, going into it right to left. And for the arrival, we can go into plan and just check that out as well. So let's check out the arrival as we come in. So we're coming in on the saver, we've got markers, which is going to be the start just before we hit the start. There's markers, there's saver, so there's our top of descent, right through to Nora, Labs, Epic, all the way down. And then we make that left-hand turn straight over the water into runway 28 right. As I said, the METARs, we've got some cloud coverage around 200 to 400 feet as well. So that is something else to take into consideration when we do come down on the approach. Just passing through 24,006. Quite clear outside, clear weather, clear views. So enjoy the views, guys, for around the next 40 minutes or so. As we've got our top of descent, which is going to be in around 200 nautical miles, which is going to be around 30 minutes time. If we're doing 430, so 431 nautical miles per hour on our ground speed. So around 30 minutes time we'll be arriving for our top of descent, which gives you a time there as well, 1945, 1916, so yeah, around 30 minutes time we will be making our top of descent down into lovely San Francisco. Next fix, we make that right hand turn from our top of descent for the Papa November down, so Padderdale, that's going to be a right onto 292, already holding the 264. Everything looks nice outside though. Had to pass through flight level 280 now for flight level 300. Just heading inbound now to Zorin. There our top of climb will stand at around 19:45, so in around 27 minutes time we will be coming down for our top of descent into lovely San Francisco. Received the METARs have changed. So mist is reported down in the airport. 3 statute miles. Broken at 200 and 400 with a 3019 on the QNH. Temperature's 13. There we go, 1000 to go. Flight level 29 to 230. Yeah, cabin's been released. Which is checked. And now just fly along the mountainside. So around 30 minutes time we will be coming down into San Francisco. Lovely views of the USA. Do really enjoy the views. There's some lovely scenery that is here. Once we come down into the central part of San Francisco, we're then going to start to see some of the nice landmarks that are there. Okay, so we now track inbound onto the 292. That was just checked. Now I've got the HUD display, just don't know how to make it come down. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that's quite nice to see. Okay, align ourselves. Ah, very nice. So I should imagine, looking at IMCA, that'll be the approach armed, I should imagine. I'll have to do some reading up on the head-up display because I haven't actually read up on any of the manuals, so that'll be something that I would have to look up at. That's quite cool though. That's very cool indeed. So if you want to see me use the head-up display, just leave it in the comments section, guys. But I need to do some reading in the manuals because I've never used it before on Microsoft or in the PMDG. So this panel here is for the head-up display. Obviously you've got the modes, glide slopes, 3 degrees, runway, etc. Not even going to bother going into it with it because I don't even know it myself. But I'm currently on our way to the Alpha Victor Echo. And tonight we might take the Airbus A320 out. As we haven't been out in it in a few days, I want to move it up a little from the 737 to the Airbus. So I may take the Airbus out tonight, may do a European flight. We'll see how the weather's faring, as the weather's still bad down in Italy and Montenegro as well, from where we was last night, so definitely wouldn't be doing anywhere near there onto the flights that we did there was some really crazy flight last night. You want to see how crazy the weather was last night? Go and check out the video before this one, which was last night's video. The weather was absolutely diabolical. It was horrible. Tivat was nearly a disaster. Luckily the cloud broke just from the overcast at the right time. But the approach down back into Savannah, that was actually really nice. Showed you guys, if you want to see how you can lock into the VOR, pre-VOR lock, you have to be in head and select mode. If you want to see how that works, just go and check out the video beforehand, which was the last flight sector of the evening. And you'll see how you can lock into a VOR station, just like the localizer, with the VOR lock button. And the aircraft will lock into the VOR, the approach, providing it's on the runway, put a VOR. I was doing a CDFA straight down, so we were doing a continuous descent flight angle approach straight on the VOR. So there wasn't nothing on VNAV or LNAV to guide us down. We had an LNAV that would take us straight direct to the runway, but we had no vertical profile, so we used vertical speed and just used the head and select and locked in for the VOR lock to capture the VOR station, and that brought us down and in. It wasn't a bad arrival, actually. It was quite nice. 35 knot tailwind, headwind, sorry, as we now come through. And then we're going to go, so Saver is going to be quite a ride down. It's got a top of descent which is right at Saver. I'm going to put the forecast weather winds in once we get past marks, and then we can start to configure the aircraft. The aircraft will reconfigure its top of descent point once you put the forecast winds in. So then, if the winds were quite heavy, the aircraft could compensate for a earlier descent. If the winds were calm, it could then compensate for a later descent. So always make sure you put the forecast weather winds in to update the aircraft to what's going on. Otherwise, if you don't, and the winds are quite bad, say you've got a big tailwind, for instance, the aircraft will keep its top descent point. You'll start to descend, and the aircraft will be descending at a rapid rate because the speed's increased, and it didn't have time to compensate, so we could start to descend that a little bit earlier. Lovely views, lovely views. The sun is right above us. So at the time it's saying when we come down, we get a nice approach in. There's some nice cut down on the sun just a little bit. Oops. So yeah, it's going to be quite big. We'll leave it as that. Leave it to how the time was meant to originally be. There's got clouds coming straight in, 200 and 400 feet. We've got overcast and broken clouds. So we're probably not going to see the runway right until we come through. There'll probably be one thick layer of cloud right above San Francisco. When we come down that approach, we're probably not going to see it right until the last minute. Unless the weather clears. We'll find out when we get more closer to the airport. but the METARs are saying that we've only got visibility is 2 miles, so now it's dropped to 2 statute miles, a few at 2,000, broken at 4,000, broken at 3,002, so the weather is changing as we speak. So let's have a look and see what other approaches they have. Do they have a cat landing? Just GLS's and ILS's for 2 right. Okay, it's fine. Broken anyway, it's not too bad. It was overcast for Columbus. Obviously there was a cat 3 there. Got that in. The auto-land for Phoenix isn't working for some reason. It comes down on approach just before flare. The aircraft likes to sort of veer off to the right a little. So I'm not sure what's happening there with the aircraft. So I wouldn't try an auto land with the Phoenix as of yet, because I don't know why it's doing that. But we are not too far away now from our descent point. Descent point now 1931, so another 15 minutes and then come down onto the runway. Stay on top of descent as we are getting near now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the forecast in, get the METARs, get the conversion chart as well for the QNH. As obviously it wants it in QNH, not the millibars. Okay, so METARs down in lovely San Francisco are looking at 3020. So if we convert that up, 3020, we're looking around 1023. Going to notice the top of descent point is going to change and recalculate itself as we put these winds in, so do watch that on screen. Watch here, after we put the winds in you're going to see the aircraft recalculate its top of descent. So at 300, so I'm going to go to 200, 100, I'll put in 5. So 200, 300 at 3A. We're looking at 30529. Okay, and our wind's coming in to the runway. Oh, it says 00, so it's calm. We'll just put it in. Okay, so you see the top of descent point's gone. Once we put it in, you'll see now it's back. It's recalculated with everything. It's probably not changed at all. It's always good to put your forecast winds in, so the aircraft doesn't know its position, that's where it's going to be, and if it needs to make a descent a little bit sooner than later. So you can see the clouds now coming in. Should be a nice arrival. Clouds. And the flight recorder replay system in as well, so you guys can see the landing on approach. I've also turned down the sensitivity on the joystick, so the PMDG is really sensitive for some reason. I don't know if it's from the update that was a few days ago, or if it's just in general, but it wasn't as sensitive as that when I jumped in yesterday. So I've turned the sensitivity down so the aircraft's controls are just a little bit more sluggish, which will just help when we come in. Views from 29, go to 265 for markers. Markers in for another 23 nautical miles. So San Francisco, here we come. Visibility is decreasing. It was 3 statute miles, now it's gone down to 2 statute miles. Few at 2, broken at 4 and broken at 3.2 now, so it's clearing a little bit. It was broken at 2 and broken at 4, now there's few at 2, broken at 400. So cloud layers a little bit low. So go and have a look. guys are enjoying the flight. Hope you guys are going to enjoy the arrival into San Francisco. We need to finally get there, which is not going to be long at all. Around another 10 minutes time, and we are going to start at the descent phase down into runway 28 right. weather goes, we could try a Cat 2, I suppose. Wouldn't hurt anyone putting into a Cat 2. So you can see here, for the Cat 2, the radio will be 113 for the minimums. The Cat 1, 213 for 200. I'm going to have a look quick and just see what the METARs are saying for San Francisco one last time, and then we'll brief it from there. It was a good try at Cat 2. So let's get San Francisco's METARs in. There's our top of descent just near Servo, put it down to 1800 feet. Okay, so it's 2 statute miles, few at 2, broken at 4, broken at 3002. We could try a Cat 2 just for the fun of it, but then again it's going to be an auto land, so I'm going to keep it onto a Cat 1. You can see the craft visual range. It's going to be in meters. Got 2 miles anyway, so that should be alright. We'll carry on with the Cat 1 as we blast down in. Decision height 213 for 200, 13 feet on the airport's elevation. Aircraft's now slowing down to decimal 7.4 on the mark. Okay, 213, reset the MCP altitude down to 1008 as the aircraft will follow its constraints all the way down into the runway. Okay, which is checked. So if we do a Cat 2, it's going to be an auto land. Rather keep it in for a Cat 1 so we can get stuck in on the controls and see what happens. So we are just riding over now on the coast. There's the cloud coverage as we come down. 3002, 304. There's 200 at broken as well. So there's the descent point now as we start the descent from Saver. And we're going to go down to Nurline now, following all the constraints down onto the runway. 280, flight level 200 above. Aircraft's powering down now. We've got 3% more N1 on the idle thrust as we've got the anti-ice on. If you put the anti-ice on, the aircraft's going to give you, at idle speed, you're going to gain an extra 3% N1 on the idle thrust. Once the anti-ice turns off, you will then lose 3% N1 thrust on the idle speed, which you'll see. I'll show you guys when we do switch off. So if the idle's sitting now at around 44, just say for instance, just say that was idle speed there at 44, then when we switch the anti-ice off, that'll go down to about 41%, just above, just under 42% N1. Currently now tracking the 315. You can see the weather and everything as we come in. We've got 213 for our 200 foot decision. We'll follow the Cat 1 in. We'll get in the courses for the runway. Okay, so in for the ILS. Got the 111.7. Okay, which is checked. And the 111.7. Courses are the 281 and 284, which is checked, and 284, which is set and checked. So that's all set. We go from 3000 at Seppin down to 1800, and then that's us ready to come in for the approach in. Calculate on for our approach speed. As the winds are calm, it will just be a +5, so 4725, take away 0.3, so that will give us 63 on the dot. 146 +5, which will be a 151. Takeoff's a break number 2. We'll get some taxi charts as well to see when we come off. Could come off at the end of 28 right. We can have a look and check that out now. Now we don't know the charts. Taxi. So once we come off at 28 right, we can come off anywhere really. Delta, Kilo, or Quebec. We'll just roll straight into stand. Okay, so that's fine for us. As we said now, flight level 249, engine start switch can go to continuous, seatbelt signs, which can go on, brief the cabin. We're going to put the taxi lights and that on just so they're ready and pre-armed for the arrival. And if you guys do enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe, as we'll be here this evening flying the Phoenix Airbus A320. I don't know what route we're going to fly yet, so that'll be something else, but we will decide. We'll be back around 6 PM this evening for our last flight of the day. So be sure to stay tuned, and I will see you on the ground. Oh, there's all that horrible cloud as we come through, pass through 23,000 feet on flight level 230. The QNHs that we said once we converted, as on the forecast, we've got QNHs which are 3020. Right. Right, 3020, which is checked. Just leaving our flight level 220. Now, the speed brakes up just a little. And I will give you guys a wing view of the arrival as well through the replay system, so you guys can see them lovely views into San Francisco that we are going to see on our way down for 2A right. So I'm not going to run the speed brakes just yet. Everything else on for the approach checklist. We've got the auto brake, which is set for number 2. We've got the courses for the approach for 28 right, which is 284, which is cross-checked and set. The QNHs are 3020, which are armed, ready and set to go. Speed brake will be armed a little bit later. Engine start switches are continuous. Coming down, which we've got set, is the 111.70 for the India Golf localizer. And that is us pretty much ready and set to come in. We're following the 315 track now before we come in and make a right hand turn. We are only currently 11 nautical miles from Waze, and then we make that right hand turn. So it's literally a straight line all the way. Eddie's our initial approach fix, and our initial fix is going to be Seppin. And then that's us all ready and set to come in. See the clouds now building up as we come near to San Francisco. I'll check the meters one more time. Okay, so we're still right for the Cat 1. So the Cat 1's okay for us to do, as we've got 2 statute miles, 1200 meters, between 800 and 350 meters. That's where the Cat 2 can be done in. We've got 2 statute miles, so we're fine for that as we come in. So QNH is now 3020, which are set and checked. Speed brake, which can be opened. We're going to have to send down 15,000 feet, which the aircraft should hold. So it's gone past its tracker, 6.8, between 10 and 15,000. So, don't know why the aircraft's continued its descent through that on the path. But it should be on at 15,000 below. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, anti-ice, now if we can see, with the anti-ice, 40%, let's just say, if I turn the anti-ice off, that's going to drop down to around 37, so watch the engine display. You're going to see the N1 now start to decrease. So you lose about 3% N1 on the idle once the anti-ice comes off, under 10. So now we're under 15,000, 8,000 above for Follett. So it's not a very nice day in San Francisco, by the looks of it. Okay, we now move forward to 333, 60% after Follett, which is fine, 8,000 above to 6. Well, Follett should be around to 8,000. Okay, that's fine, not too worried about that, as it is 6%, so 8,000 above, but it's 8,000 feet. There we go, just see. So by the time it brings us to 8, we're still going to say a steep descent. We need to be at 8,000 feet anyway. The speed's going to decrease to 240, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm speed brake for now. Yeah, I've just checked. 329, which is also in. Okay, 10,000 feet, landing lights can go on now, which are checked. The ILS is over, 117, which are also in. We'll get the identifier as well, and that all comes through. There's a pass for 10,009. So just checking out on the approach. So it is a steep descent. 8,000 above. Put 8,000 there just to let the aircraft take a bit of a breather as we come down. Terrain's at 4,002 and 2,200. Fine. Just get a little bit choppy. What's brake we've got for number 2? It through 9,006. Go from 8 to 5, 6 to 4,000 above for Sidby. Okay, once we come in from Sidby, just want to double check to see how far away the range is from when we enter in for the glide slope. So on for the ILS for 2.8, going to be 7.4, 12 for Sepin. Okay, that's fine. Pass through 8,009. aircraft are going to be done down around 2,000 feet per minute to meet in with Eddie. Okay, we just checked. We got the flight recorder system in. So there will be a pause for just around a few seconds. That's the flight recorder system, replay system just going in to its record. Okay, so hit the record button. It'll pause for a few seconds, then come back. So there we go, passing through 7006. As we slow, it's got drag, not going to give it no drag, so the aircraft will slow down anyway. Probably for 6,000 feet, 4,000 above, and then we slow down to 23194 at the turning point, which is going to be at the start of the localizer. So flight recorder replay systems in. Passing through 6007. And we've got a 146, VREF 30 plus 5, it will be a 151. Yeah, just passing Eddie now. The speed tape should start to slow itself down. Yeah, there we go, 331. So throttles are a little bit sluggish since the update, I've noticed as well. You see that it's just powering up. It's not even coming back down yet. It's a little bit annoying. As you can see, that they're really sluggish on the power side. They go up and then come straight back down, but these are just going up and not coming down at all. So we'll open up, there's the decel, we're going to come all the way down. I'll leave the speed brakes open until we are ready to come in. So there's the identifier now for the India Golf Whiskey Quebec 284, which is set on our courses, and with 17.5, 12 DME. We're going to start that left hand turn to intercept onto the localizer. There's the speed tape now moving down as we'll slowly go to our up speed. Okay, there's 1008, which is in. As now blasting into the clouds. Okay, so I'm going to start to bring the control column over. I'm going to hit the localizer, which can be pre-armed. I'm not going to hit the glide slope just yet. Bravo, good evening pal, or good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I'm just ready to come in. So I'm going to hit with the slats as well. The aircraft's now going to come into that left hand turn. I'm slowing down under 250, flaps 5, which can come in. Under 210. We can then start to drop into flaps 10. Okay, Okay, 210, flaps down, just give us that extra brake. As it now decel to 1,800 feet. 1,000 to go. Approach can come in. There's a single channel. Glide slope can bring us down. 1,800 feet, which would be 7 DME is where we're going to start to come in. Now we've got flaps 15, gear down. Got control back on the speed. 213 for a 200 foot decision. Yeah, I'm doing well, my man. Thanks for asking, pal. Hope you're doing well too. Okay, landing lights, which are all on and checked. Gears down, 3 green. Currently 7 DME out, just where the glide slope would have started. I'll push forward, flaps 30, which will give us a 151. Yeah, you know what, Deck, I might actually do that, mate. I might actually do the Edinburgh to London. We'll do a 2-sector flight, whichever. I did say I'd do that for you, so yeah, no, we'll do Edinburgh to London Luton tonight. That'll be a nice flight. Coming in on the 07 switch around to see which side is going to come in. So there is broken clouds around 200 and 300 feet. So we'll see what happens. So for landing Shatless, we've got gear down 3 green, auto brake set for number 2, which is set. Flaps 30, green light. We're established on the single channel for the Cat 1. We are just waiting now for the airport to come into view at 5 nautical miles. There's the ground just coming into view, as you can see. 900 feet, straight down. There's the lights for the runway, which are visible now. That's through 700 feet. 700 AGL is only 13 feet above from the airport. And we're coming down around 800 feet per minute. Aircraft is stabilised. Okay, I have visual on the runway as well. And disconnect the autopilot, disconnect the auto throttle. Okay, speed brakes are up and reversers are active. Okay, reversers can be stowed and your braking, as you know, come off. Thanks, Boeing. Thanks, my man. Okay, speed brakes can be disarmed. Flaps can be fully retracted as we now taxi off of the runway. So, welcome to San Francisco. Visibility was very low. Very, very low indeed. But we are here. So, we'll cross over to 8 left as well. Then I'm going to go straight into stand, and I'm going to show you guys the landing replay as well, which I've got. Okay, so it's a crossover now. Get that all off. Landing lights, I'm going to put the APU on as we're going to do the replay. Okay. And strobes can now be set back to steady. I'm just going to jump into a gate so I can show you guys the arrival. And welcome to San Francisco. So yeah, tonight we'll be in the Phoenix. As Deck said, I did say to Deck that we was going to do a flight from Edinburgh down to Luton. So we'll run that in. It'll be a 2-sector flight. We'll go from Edinburgh to Luton, then Luton to somewhere else this evening. So we'll stop it right here. Put the brake on. Not going to lock the engines off on this one, as I'm going to get the flight recorder replay system set up for you guys. So that was actually a really nice arrival. I did enjoy that. It was nice to see the runway just at the last minute. So as we come down, let's get a set up and ready to go. So we're just waiting for it to load.
80 knots.
There we go. Now that's loading. Can't get the airport. We'll get the runway in so we can get the aircraft set up. And then once we've got the aircraft set up, it's very choppy for some reason. It gets very choppy around here, so we'll probably have to do it on this side. Probably. Not too sure. Not sure if it running. I don't know why it's very choppy around on this part. Probably have to do a wing view if anything. Let's see what the wing view's saying. See, the wing views and everything are fine, but when it comes down to the other part here, it just is a little bit choppy down here tonight. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to leave you with the actual arrival where we came in, the straight where we locked into the localizer. So enjoy the flight, and I will see you this evening when we come in for Edinburgh to London Luton with the Phoenix A320, which I should imagine will be with EasyJet. And then we'll do another RealWorld flight from Luton Airport over to Europe somewhere. So thanks for joining, guys. I'm going to leave you with the replay. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you this evening at around 6 PM for our next flight for EasyJet in the Phoenix A320. So I'll see you soon, guys. Bye bye.